Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We'll try to do this one freehand. What we'll do is I'll show you how to pollinate Venus flytraps. This is my collection here, and I let them all flower. If I go like this, you will see how interesting these plants are. You see how tall their flower stems are. This time of the year they put like totally all of their energy. Yeah, and you can see my rig for recording, like it's really super high tech. Anyway, they put all of their energy into making these flower stems and these flowers in hopes of getting pollinated and making seeds. If you want your plants to look like leafy, you may wish to remove the flowers. But if you want to get the seeds and to sow the seeds, or just to look at the flowers, then let them flower. For sure, don't let them flower in winter. Like I have a video about keeping Venus flytraps over the winter care and everything. Check that one out. I explain more there. Just now, in short, it's really important that they don't try to flower in winter, which they will if they are not cold. As soon as it warms up, as soon as they can be in full sunlight, because most of you probably grow them indoors, then you can let them flower and do their thing if you want to. Let's get to what we need to be doing. So this is Venus flytrap flower. It's like nothing special, really. Now let's take a look at this one. This is a nicer one. It's nothing special, really. It's really like the basic flower that you were learning about at school. With let's see how we can do this. Again, this green one. So it has focus for me, please, or something. It has the sepals on the outside, green ones. It has the petals, the white ones. We have these like matchy looking things. They are stamens, and they have anthers at the tip. Inside the anthers there is pollen. Sort of like pollen is the male material, kind of sort of like sperm, but not really. That needs to go to the female part where you have the ovules inside. So the female part is this green thing in the middle. The round part, that's the ovary. It has ovules inside, and then you have like this little column, and you have the stigma on top. The whole trick is to transfer. Let me see how I can hold this, or just release it. Or let's go back to this nice one. The whole trick is to get pollen, freehand style pollen. You get it here, you see little drops, that's pollen, and you need to transfer it to the central part. So if you want to self the plant, you just pollinate it with its own pollen, which is just, you can just go whatever inside the flower. Basically this is what insects do, like bees or whatever. They just go all over the plant and something hits the right spot. Okay, so this one was selfed, but we still have the pollen on. And you can go to another flower that is developed, that has the, you see here, the stigma, this little sort of flowery thing in the middle, this one here. If you can hit that, and I don't know if I can do this together, let's try. You can hit this, just this, with your pollen grains from the other plant, like this. Stigmas are sticky, so the pollen sticks to them. Like this, without getting the pollen from these anthers on. In this case, you have crossed the two varieties. you took pollen from another flower, from another variety, onto this one. So this will be your mother plant, and the pollen donor will be your father plant. It's bit different in both cases, but in the end it should be sort of like similar plants. Yeah, you may wish to mark what you were doing. You may wish what's your mother plant that you used, and what is your father plant that you used. Always good to do so, especially if you're going to do this like for serious, trying to get some traits, like to just show more or whatever. But if you're just like a beginner, this is all you need to know: how to pollinate this flower, because more than likely, if you're not in its native habitat, which is the southeast part of the United States, then you don't have the pollinator for this thing. So you need to do it by hand, otherwise you won't get any seeds out of it. Doesn't matter, you self it or you pollinate it with another variety, doesn't matter, but it needs to be pollinated. Very important. In case you do have an insect that visits these flowers in your area, you will need to isolate your flowers, especially if you want to make specific crosses. I think this should be a video of its own. Now, good thing is that I can actually show you the whole process now, because it's like, I don't know if I saw this before, but because there's like more plants now, one started flowering earlier, so we have the whole thing from flower buds to flowers to developing fruits. If this phone will allow us, developing fruits. So like when fruits start to, so yeah, fruit it just means that it's like part from the flower, parts that protect the seeds are inside. The sepals, they just curl in and they protect the fruit while it's developing. And then we can go to this one. Yeah, please focus. And we can go to this one. You can see this one is already ripe. This one I just selfed, and if we pick in, you can see the seeds. They are black and shiny. They need to turn completely black before they are ripe. They will wait for you here to be picked. Don't wait too long, because then they just fall off. Okay, and then when you sow these seeds, then you get seedlings. These germinated now over winter. They are still so tiny, but you can see already that they are little Venus flytraps. Some are more developed, some are really tiny. They start out like with here with just the two leaves without traps, two cotyledons, and then even the first true leaves, they have tiny little baby traps. These guys I will just leave inside this little pot. This was from last year, like from a sort of try. I will leave them in here for a while, for this year for sure. Maybe I will replant them or something like in the autumn or something. But in any case, seedlings, this should be an interesting one. This should be an interesting one, and this should be a red one. That's a red one for sure. Anyways, they take quite a long time to grow. So if they are like, if they're half a year to a year old now, they will need to be like 5 years something, depending how well they will eat and everything, before they are mature plants. So by seed, again, you get plants that are genetically different. You might get something that you could register as a new variety, or whatever. You get something new, but it takes longer. If you do cuttings, cuttings are faster. Cuttings you have within 2 years you have an adult plant. And if you just divide plants, obviously you have an adult plant immediately, more or less. Okay, this is all about seeds. I will pop these back. If you found this helpful, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for watching and see you next time.